Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone to the April 5th regular meeting for the Putnam County Legislature. If we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Legislator Ebenezer, if you could lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we can remain standing for the legislative prayer. Legislator Albano, if you could lead us in the prayer.
Heavenly Father, we ask for your blessing and pray for your guidance as we are gathered here today. We pray that you would clearly show us how to conduct our work. Give us the desire to find ways to excel in our work. Help us to work in unity and encourage each other to excellence. Amen.
Amen.
You have roll call.
District 1, Legislator Stuccinaro.
Present.
District 2, Legislator Goldman.
Present.
District 3, Legislator Agnesium.
Present.
District 5, Legislator Albano.
Here.
District 6, Legislator Gross.
Present.
District 8, Legislator Legault.
Present.
District 9, Legislator Wright.
Here.
District 4, Chairwoman Nasserino. District 7, Legislator Castellano.
Present. Okay, thank you for everybody for attending. We have a number of proclamations tonight that we'd like to present. Number 1 on the proclamation list is Alcohol Awareness Month. Legislator Suchimara, if you could.
Mike Piazza.
Come on up.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Doreen Lockley.
Hi, Doreen. I know Doreen. Alcohol Awareness Month. I guarantee that there isn't one person in this room that hasn't been impacted by someone in their family with an alcohol problem. It's so important to keep education going and to keep this in the limelight. I know we all talk about heroin and how horrible, and it is horrible, but alcohol destroys families, and it cripples people every day. So having this wonderful man and Community That Cares Coalition, along with your department, does wonderful work. Would you like to speak on that a little bit?
I would just say you said it all. You said alcohol, we focus a lot on all the drugs, and alcohol still destroys more families, destroys more lives, responsible for more deaths than any other drug out there. And so we really appreciate the legislature would announce that April is Alcohol Awareness Month.
Wonderful. I know personal experience. I've been impacted by alcoholics in my family, so I know how terrible it is. And we're very proud to do this. The Putnam County Executive and the Putnam County Legislature do here proclaim April 2016 as Alcohol Awareness Month, along with a few other proclamations. Community Care Coalition and all substance abuse prevention and treatment providers in Putnam County. And we have so many, and they do such a wonderful job. I really thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You sit right there.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And we also have April as Child Abuse Prevention Month.
All right, I'd like to introduce Marla Baylor and Mary Beth Ross from the CAC, and Allison Lusardi, our supervisor of our child abuse program.
And I think alcohol abuse is tied into child abuse in many cases because they just can't help themselves, and it's the children that suffer. And please tell us a little bit about.
Well, I think, this, as you said, child abuse, April is Child Abuse Awareness Month, and this year we're really trying to focus on creating positive communities for children, and that every child deserves to grow up in a safe and healthy environment. So we actually have a really exciting event plan where we're going to be creating a garden of pinwheels out on Lake Glenida, right by Sybil Ludington statue, and it's really about, people driving by can see the positive impact, and hopefully everyone will get involved and support this initiative.
That's wonderful, wonderful.
I want to thank the legislator for recognizing April is Child Abuse Awareness Month for the proclamation.
It's really, I think when a child is abused in younger years, it molds them for the rest of their life. So any kind of prevention is just such a wonderful initiative to go in that direction. So I thank you so much. I'll give you your proclamation, alcohol awareness.
Thank you very much.
and child abuse.
Thank you.
Thanks
You
very
really
much.
Thank
Thank
you for all
appreciate
your
that.
good work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Our next proclamation is going to be the Healthy Teen Brain Day, April 20th, 2016. Legislator Albano has the proclamation.
Doreen's a very busy woman.
Doreen?
Talia from the communities that
Hi,
care.
how are you? This proclamation, whereas our youth are the greatest joy and hope for our future, so it is necessary for us to support them in making safe and healthy decisions, while creating a supportive environment that safeguards their future. Whereas many of the youth are making very healthy and safe decisions to remain marijuana-free, and providing leadership in their schools and communities, and to help others to remain marijuana-free. Whereas there's strong evidence that marijuana is harmful to adolescent brain, with the potential to cause disordered perceptions, difficulty with thinking and problem solving, disrupting learning and memory, and impaired reaction time, along with span judgment and balance and coordination problems. It is a special pleasure that we join the youth and adult leaders of Putnam communities, the CARE Coalition, in celebrating the first Healthy Teen Brain Day, to applaud and support youth for making healthy choices. On behalf of the citizens of Putnam County, we are pleased and proud to join all associated with the inception of Healthy Teen Brain Day, and urge citizens to acknowledge this very important day. Resolve the Putnam County Executive and the Putnam County Legislature do hereby proclaim Wednesday, April 20th, 2016, to be Healthy Teen Brain Day in Putnam County, and proudly join with fellow residents in making this very special occasion. It's very interesting, but you know, we know the effects of alcohol, and sometimes marijuana seems to be put to the side like not so serious a drug. But when you have a child's brain, you look at the chemistry, the electricity, the things that are happening, to alter that in any way while it's developing is a major mistake, and it causes problems later on in life. So it'd be like a small plant. You'd want to make sure it has the proper fertilizer and nutrients to get to where it has to be. So this is, we know about alcohol, and this is very important also for anyone young. We really have to pay attention.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
And the Communities That Care Coalition, April 20th is actually National Marijuana Day, where a lot of young people celebrate marijuana. So nationally, we're trying to counter that by saying, let's teach about the power of the brain and the health of the brain. And as you said, whatever we put into our body, our food, our fuel, our beverages, alcohol, other drugs, impacts our brain. And our brain is developing until we're 25 years old. So our Communities That Care Coalition, with the support of the county legislators, really working to try to make this a public health issue where we're really talking about healthy choices in body, mind, and spirit. So thank you so much for acknowledging that.
Yes, thank you. I work at Mahopac High School as a student assistance counselor, and I would just like to thank you for taking the opportunity to challenge the growing pro-marijuana messages that our youth are exposed to.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next proclamation is National Library Week, April 10th through the 16th, 2016. Legislator Gross will be presenting the proclamation.
Hi, Mike Mo, nice to meet you. You got your group here?
Yes.
Jessica
McMahon. I'm Gina Lusky.
Gina, nice to meet you. Are you all from Kent Library Board?
From the
board and from the Friends.
A resident of Putnam County.
Okay, well, my wife was a librarian for some 30 years in the school district, Terrytown and Brewster, so I certainly appreciate doing this, and I know how important libraries are. You know, today, the library we grew up with, many of us, were books and magazines, and really, at that time, I should say. Today, it's full of technology, and I know a lot of the school districts are actually throwing out books, and everything's e-book and so forth. And it's really quite a change, and it's so important in the communities. I wanted to read you here on the proclamation, which is April 10th to the 16th of National Library Week. Libraries employ trained, savvy professionals who provide their communities with internet access, technology training, and access to downloadable content like e-books and magazines. And libraries offer all other kinds of services related to jobs, related to weather, and just general internet importance, because a lot of folks don't have the technology at home. So it's really a very important, I think libraries have grown in the importance in the county and certainly in the United States. Whereas libraries and librarians, library staff, and library supporters across America are celebrating National Library Week, Now therefore be it resolved that the Putnam County Legislature, Putnam County Executive, do hereby proclaim the week of April 10th to the 16th as National Library Week. We encourage all county residents to visit their local libraries and take advantage of the wealth of library resources of our library that our libraries provide. So I'm very happy to give this proclamation.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything you'd like to say about it?
Yes, just a few words, although you said quite a lot. I think that was very, that's quite a lot of what I was going to say, which is wonderful,
I
actually.
apologize.
No, not at all. The National Library Association has a theme for the Library Weeks, and it is that libraries transform. And I think that that's true in Putnam throughout the country. It's true in Putnam County. I think we supply materials. We offer materials, both traditional, books, and as well as internet access and computers for people to help transform themselves. So whether it's someone looking to read a novel, to learn about himself or herself and the world around him or her, or a person who, a high school senior looking to do a research paper, or a person looking for a job. There are all these things where people can use the library resources to transform themselves. I think that's especially true with young children. Our young children are using the library. There's nothing better than seeing a 3 or 4 year old get a book and fall in love with a character for the first time. And that's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing to hear some of our programs, at some of our programs, to see people reading to children and to watch their faces as they learn, as they follow the story. Especially, as my granddaughter would say, if it's a really good story. And then finally, libraries are actually transforming themselves. As you said, we're transforming ourselves by really becoming community resources. Not just places where books are stored, but really where the community goes for meeting space, for discussions and meetings about all sorts of topics, whether it's planetary influences on Earth to things like knitting and genealogy and local history. All of these things are topics that are pursued in local libraries. So it's actually the people of the libraries who help with this transformation. So from our directors to our librarians to our staff to our friends of the library to our trustees, and on behalf of all of these people from the libraries of Putnam County, I thank the board for this recognition.
I would just add one final thing. As long as I've been on the legislature, it's been very positive on financing libraries and supporting them throughout the last 5 years that I've been here.
Yes, and we appreciate that. We do. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much.
Okay, our next proclamation will be Peers Influence in Peers Month. Legislator Scuchamara has the proclamation.
I know these faces. This is one of my favorite groups. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Good to see you, Bob.
No.
By the way, this is one of my favorite groups.
And I'm so happy.
This is Courtney Powell.
Hi, Courtney. Courtney. This is one of my, like I said, favorite groups. They do such a fantastic job, and it all ties into what we've been talking about with the alcohol abuse, the child abuse. Peers influence peers, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Kids today look to their friends for advice. They look to their friends for, should I do this or should I not do this? This is a group of people that do documentary films, award-winning documentary films. The last one I saw was Chasing It, and anyone who has seen that, poignant, just takes your breath away what these people go through, and it was really conveyed in that film. So, and I know you've done it's not just drugs and alcohol, it's all topics that face young people today. Can you tell us about your other films?
Yes.
And introduce yourself to everybody,
Yeah,
please.
Frank Reale, I'm the president of Peers Influence Peers. And I'll speak to the Putnam Valley group, you can speak to the Carmel group. We actually have students from Haldane, Putnam Valley, Mahopac, and Carmel involved in our productions. The folks in Haldane did a short film about the pressures of a high school and how, what can they do, what can peers do to help alleviate the pressures that students feel. In Putnam Valley, you should know that, excuse me, out of every 100 students in an auditorium, high school students in an auditorium, 12 will have attempted suicide. It's the third leading cause of death of teenagers today. And so our film is addressing something that lots of folks do not want to talk about, but it's a real serious problem. So with documentary and narrative pieces, we're creating this project to share with their peers. Stephen?
Well, hello, my name is Stephen Velichko. I'm the Vice President of Peers. And every year we pride ourselves in asking our students what is going on in the school. What's going on with your peers that you feel needs to be talked about? What are problems going on in the school that aren't addressed? And so every year we have a different group, and so every year those problems change naturally. So in Carmel, which we started a program of last year, we returned this year, very exciting. This year we are doing a program on domestic and dating abuse. So with that, it's very evident that these problems are very present, whether it's middle, high school, not just there, but sadly, throughout our adult lives as well. But it's amazing. I think it's very impressive how each year the students always pick topics that are really hard to talk about. So it shows that our youth are very vigorous in attacking problems of today, so hopefully tomorrow we won't have them anymore.
By the way, 1 in 4 high school girls will have suffered from some form of violence by the time they get their diploma. So it is a very serious issue. The last piece, before I go further, I want to thank this group right here as a county legislative body that for 20 years has supported the efforts of our young people in convincing their peers to make healthy lifestyle choices. So the reality is, I'd like to give you a proclamation, but at least up the applause. And the last film we're doing, as Barbara mentioned, we did a film on heroin abuse. And at the end of the film, the father who speaks about his son's death says, if you get involved in heroin, you might as well hang it up, sell your car, it's over. Well, the reality for his son, certainly, it was over. But for many people, there is recovery. And so the film we'll be working on between now and hopefully by the fall we'll have finished a documentary on those that seek and are successful in recovery and the steps you need to take for it. So that's what our
And
project
you
is.
have one you're working on right now that's
We're working on
Violet.
3 of them right now. Actually,
Really?
we're kind of busy here.
and they're award winning. I mean, these aren't, these are very serious films and addressing serious topics, and then
And this, by the way, is Courtney Pell, who I promised she wouldn't have to speak, but she can hold the certificate. So she's our youth president.
we have a lot of resolves here and a lot of whereas that the work which has been aired through numerous schools and cable TV systems throughout our state has won praise from many authorities, and let it hereby be resolved that the Putnam County Executive and the Putnam County Legislature do hereby recognize April 2016 as Peers Influence Peers Month. Congratulations. And keep up the good work. It's good to see you again. Thank you.
Okay, our next proclamation is Putnam County BizCon Week, the week of April 9th through the 16th, 2016. Legislator Agnizio has the proclamation.
Hi. Hi. Proclamation number 1, you're going to stay up for both. We have 2 of them. The Mayapack Carmel Chamber of Commerce presenting Putnam BizCon, which is Putnam County's annual home, business, and lifestyle show, Saturday, April 9th at the Putnam County Golf Course. This event provides local businesses an opportunity to gain new leads, new customers, and growth in a venue with indoor booths, display areas, raffles, and is open to businesses all over Putnam County. The Putnam BizCon is an event that showcases Putnam businesses and brings the community together. Resolved that the Putnam County Executive and the County Legislature do hereby proclaim the week of April 9th to the 16th as Putnam BizCon Week, and congratulate the Mahopac Carmel Chamber of Commerce and cooperating organizations of the business community of Putnam County on the presentation of the Putnam County Annual Home Business and Lifestyle Show on April 9th. Would you like to speak on that?
Yes, thank you. Howard Payson, Keller Williams Real Estate. Thank you for having us tonight, and thank you for the proclamation. This event has been going on for many years and showcases all of our local businesses and promotes commerce. It's such a great event because it's a smaller sold-out event. It's actually over 60 exhibitors this time, and what's great is that many of our repeat vendors have come back year after year. And what's great about it is that businesses can network to businesses, but also consumer to business, especially in today's world where you can go onto the websites and find different people. You lose that personal touch. You lose that knowledge and that experience that you don't get over a computer. And that's what this event does. It brings businesses and consumers closer together. So we're excited for the event, and we'd love to have everyone there. And also thank you guys, because you guys have supported our chamber and this event so many times, year after year. So thank you guys. I appreciate it.
And we would just like to invite everyone to join us on Saturday, April 9th at the Putnam County Golf Course. We'll start at 11 a.m. with our ribbon cutting and run throughout the day to 4 p.m. It's free admission. As the proclamation said, we will have drawings, raffles, we have some celebrity guests, in addition to the 60-plus businesses that will be there. So we hope you'll all join us.
Thank you. Proclamation is for Small Business Recognition Month. And as we all know, small business is the backbone of our economy. A successful small business is evidence of the independence, initiative, and hard work of our owner-operator and the spirit, and will continue to play an important role in maintaining and improving the vitality of our community. Small business people take a leading role in civic affairs to improve the quality of life in our communities. With the assistance of local chambers of commerce, small business people provide a variety of services, both business and social, to the community at large. Small businesses have and will continue to provide employment opportunities for our residents and contribute conveniences and services to our communities. Therefore, be it that the Putnam County Executive and Putnam County Legislature do hereby proclaim April 2016 as Small Business Recognition Month and urge all citizens to join them in recognizing the contributions that small businesses make to county-wide development. Please support our small businesses. Would you like to take that? Would anyone like to speak on that?
Just that, thank you very much for this and recognizing small business. In Putnam County, small business is big business. You read in the papers about all the mega corporations and stuff like that. But the backbone, like you said, of Putnam County's economy is small business. And so we appreciate the efforts of our small business people to get out and work with our local communities, but also we encourage our local communities to support the local businesses.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and our final proclamation is Teen Driver Safety Awareness Month. Legislator Gross says the proclamation.
Is there a representative from the Sheriff's Department?
Maybe Deputy, could you come up? You mind? He's here, our Sergeant of Arms all these weeks, and we appreciate all these different meetings. Your name, sir?
Deputy Peen.
Welcome. April is Teen Driver Safety Awareness Month, and I would just say these all are important, and I can't overestimate the importance of this one. I taught for 32 years at Brewster High School. I went to 27 funerals for students. Some of them were disease, afflictions. The bulk of them were automobile accidents. 2 or 3 people being killed, a double hit and run on Route 22 back in the 70s. Young people, the teenagers make up 7% of our driving population, and they do 18% of the injury and automobile accidents, of the crashes. It's so important to some of us, all of us that have young people in the family and they're getting their driver's license. You know, we always use that phrase. It's not if they're going to have an accident, but when they're going to have an accident, you know. So important to this awareness and reminding it to young people over and over again. I'll just quote down here. Analysis shows it's basically excessive speed, it's unnecessary risk-taking, inattentive driving, and use of alcohol and drugs, which is certainly a problem. Also motorcycles, I forgot to mention that, a couple of youngsters that had happened to them. Accidents are preventable, but there are a lot of projects out there. Some of the high schools go up to a driver program up in Connecticut. They pay for the program, and they learn about safe driving, and they drive cars on the track, and it's very helpful. I've talked to a lot of young people who come back at Brewster High School about this, and they look forward to that each year. I also want to mention the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Junior ROTC, and Civil Air Patrol all help on promoting driver safety. Resolved that the Putnam County Executive and the Putnam County Legislature do hereby proclaim the month of April as Teen Driver Safety Awareness Month in Putnam County. We encourage all levels of government, our school districts, law enforcement, our churches and synagogues, our youth service organizations, and all the citizens of the county to support such programs. And this is, again, signed off by the county executive and the chair of the legislature. So, Deputy, would you like to say anything about your experience in
Just with
safety?
the teen drivers and people just getting their driver's licenses, to know the rules of the road and try to pay attention to the driving instead of their phones or someone else that might be in the car with them. And just try to obey speed limit signs, stop signs, and that kind of stuff.
I appreciate you putting you on the spot here. Isn't one of the situations too, the young people today with a license can only have one other person in the car, or something like that?
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe so.
I know some of the accidents that I'm aware of in Brewster, there were 2 and 3 and 4 kids in the car, so hopefully that will be more attentive. Anyway, here's this proclamation from the department. Thank you.
Thank you very
Deputy.
much.
Thanks for
I
being
appreciate
here.
it.
Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to item number 4 is the approval of minutes for the regular meeting of March 1st, 2016, and the special meeting for March 22nd, 2016. Item number 5 is correspondence from the county auditor. Just one item up there for $1,634.49, a refund amount that was at the issue. Item number 6 is the pre-filed resolutions. The Protective Services Committee, Chairman Goldman, if you could...
Thank you, Chairman Catalano. On behalf of the members of the Protective Services Committee, Legislators Gross and Wright, I make a motion to move the following items. Item number 6A, approval of fund transfer 16T 022 Sheriff Department overtime.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Item number 6B, approval of fund transfer 16T 023 Sheriff's Department temporary.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Item number 6C, approval of fund transfer 16T 038 Sheriff's Department overtime.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Item number 6D, approval of fund transfer 16T 039 Sheriff's Department temporary.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Item number 6E, approval of budgetary transfer 16T 040 Sheriff's Department for the town of Southeast for the fireworks display in July.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Item number 6F, I would like to get an approval for memorization of Tioga County's resolution calling on the state of New York to develop a 100% state-funded indigent legal defense system as a way to provide mandate relief and lower our property taxes.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 6G, approval of emergency services, 2016-2017 hazardous material emergency preparedness grant.
Any discussion? All in favor?
And the record will note one recusal. My son is executive director of the grant agency.
Very good.
Item number 6H, approval of Bureau of Emergency Services FY 2016 Local Emergency Management Performance Grant.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Same recusal.
Thank you, Legislator Goldman. Moving on to Rules Enactment Intergovernmental Relations Committee, Chairman LeBeau.
Thank you. Chairman Castellano, on behalf of myself and legislators Albano and Scutramara, I'd like to move forward agenda item 6I, approval budgetary amendment for the Board of Elections. They will be purchasing 3 new voting machines. The total amount is $35,250, and this is for the upcoming primaries. There's 4 primaries. So everybody's very busy at Board of Elections.
Absolutely. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Agenda item 6J, approval confirmation reappointment of Putnam County Board of Ethics. I'd like to move forward Paul Eldridge, his name, for a 3-year term set to expire December 31st, 2018, as well as Robert Bickford for a 3-year term set to expire again December 31st, 2018.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Legislator LeBeau. Moving on to Physical Services Committee, Legislator Albano.
Thank you, Chairman Castellano. On behalf of legislators Castellano, Scutramara, and myself, I'd like to move 6K, approval of the sale of county property pursuant to Chapter 31 of Putnam County Code, Putnam Valley, tax map number 84.1-10-21.
Any discussion?
Through the chair, as I have mentioned at previous meetings, I will be voting no with respect to both of these properties because I think we need to discuss the process. So I hope that going forward we can take a look at doing the auction process.
Yes, I'm currently in the process of contrasting and comparing the MLS service with using an auction company, which we have done in the past. I found that auctions are successful, and the counties of Dutchess, Westchester, Orange, and Rockland are currently using auction services. I was able to call a couple of companies, and I feel that it's important that we make the proper decision to determine which process would be financially to our advantage in Putnam County.
Any other discussion? I'd like to add that what we have in front of us today is a property that we're going to put back on the tax roll. It's going to be good for not only Putnam County, but the local community and the neighbors that are adjacent to that property. We're going to have somebody who's going to put some money back into the property. These are dilapidated properties that are going to see an improvement, and it's going to be a benefit to all of Putnam County, including the neighbors in Putt Valley on this one particular property. Unless there's any other discussion, we'll have a roll call vote.
Legislator Adnizio.
Yes.
Legislator Albano.
Yes.
Legislator Castellano.
Yes.
Legislator Goldman.
Yes.
Legislator Gross.
Yes.
Legislator LeBeau. No. Legislator Scutramara.
Yes.
Legislator Wright.
I'll abstain, as I believe the matter in general is still before legislative committees, and we should await that determination.
And Chairwoman Castellano. Motion carried.
6L, I'd like to move 6L, approval of sale of county property, again pursuant to Chapter 31, Putnam County Code. The town of Kent, tax map number 33.24-1-79 and 80.
And I'll open it up to discussion. We'll have a roll call vote as well.
Legislator Adnizio.
Yes.
Legislator Albano.
Yes.
Legislator Castellano.
Yes.
Legislator Goldman.
Yes.
Legislator Gross.
Yes.
No.
Legislator Suchinaro.
Yes.
Legislator Wright.
Abstaining for the same reasons.
Chairman Castellano. Motion carries.
Move 6M, authorization of the, authorizing the execution of agreement for advance payment with New York State Department of Transportation.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That's it, right?
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do we have one more?
One more. I'd like to move 6N, but I'd like to make a motion to accept the additional. I have before me a correction of just address and some basic information.
For the second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I'd like to move the approval of Putnam County Legislature to act as lead agency under the seeker in re-permit modification and fuel dispensing system relocation. This is where we're moving underground tanks to outer ground.
Any discussion? All in favor?
One no.
Aye.
Jim, no.
Okay. Thank you, Legislator Albano. Moving on to Economic Development and Energy Committee. Chairwoman Antonizio.
Thank you, Chairman Castellano. On behalf of Legislators Goulman and Gross, item 6O, approval for the budgetary transfer. Commissioner of Finance, Putnam County Visitors Bureau, Tourism Matching Funds.
Open it to discussion.
Discussion through the chair. I will be abstaining on this. This is a request for matching funds, $4,363 of taxpayer money. Because of the issue that currently exists with the tourism agency, I'm concerned about the structure, and I'm not clear on who we're forwarding this money to, who's in control of the money, and if they have the authority to do so. I understand that Frank Smith is the acting director, and I want to support Frank. I know he's trying to do the best that he can under the circumstances. I want to make sure that what we're doing is proper, and I think we need to review the procedure for the Tourism Bureau. I know in the past, under the former director, that there were 2 signatures required for the release of money, and I think that's a good procedure all the way around. As we know, there's other instances in the county where there's been problems with the use of taxpayer money, and I think it's good oversight and good protection for us as stewards of the money. I'm not sure, my understanding, again, under the previous director, who was appointed by the state, I'm not sure of the authority of the current acting director. So I'm concerned about handing over additional taxpayer money. So I'm just doing this under the guise of caution, because none of us really understand what's going on here. So again, I'll be abstaining.
I just wanted to say, I just want to make it clear that what this is Tourism Matching Funds Grant. It's a total of $61,506. 2016 budget provided for $57,143. So we are $4,363 short, and that's what we're asking for, a matching funds grant.
Let's say Albano.
Yeah, I was very pleased with the Tourism Bureau, what they did last year and up to date. And I think the money was well spent. We have millions of people in New York City that visit us and other areas. This is a great destination. It's money very well spent. And by authorizing this, we turned $4,363 into over $8,000. It makes sense. The other thing is, this is the time of the year that it's important to have these funds available, because this is when activities are going on, and we're trying to bring people into the county and boost tourism. If you look at New York State, they absolutely agree with this whole concept and see that it has a tremendous value. And Frank, you're doing a great job. I'm glad you have you.
I understand Legislator LeBou's concerns, and I certainly would like to see an oversight and overview of the funding as well, and if the procedures have changed. But as Carl indicated, this is the beginning of the tourist season, and it is a very small amount of money to support this large grant. And you know, you wouldn't know it if the tourist season's coming with snow outside and 20 degrees, but it's around the corner, I hope. And we certainly need to get that funding moving, and then we can review the activities of the agency. Frank Smith is very conscientious. He's certainly competent, And I have every confidence that you will do a great job in that position. So I certainly support this.
Yeah, if I could, I'd also like to add to this. Again, we budgeted only the $57,143 for 2016. This is the vehicle that the state provides us. They've given us more money than we were expecting, so I think it's foolish not to match their funds of $4,363. It's a little additional money coming our way. Tourism in Putnam County, especially on the West Coast, as I witnessed last autumn, going up and down by the Hudson River. It's phenomenal to watch all these people come off the trains and spend their money in Putnam County. And as was discussed in the committee last week, the week before, you have these people who come here, they spend their money, they buy dinner, they buy some products, they walk around, and they head back to wherever they came from. The ship that comes up and lands in Cold Spring is a win-win for Putnam County. I was absolutely impressed by that. This is the vehicle the state provides us. They're giving us a little extra money. I think we need to take advantage of it, and that's what I'd like to say. Any other discussion?
I want to just follow up with some of the comments. The question is not whether or not we support tourism in the county. That's not the question. We're handing over taxpayer money of which we have no control over, and we're handing it to an entity that we don't know if it even exists. We're not sure on who has the authority by state to sign off on the checks, to pay the bills, and who's responsible at the bank, who is the signatory for these bank accounts. I mean, I'm really befuddled and confused here because this is not a discussion about the merits of tourism. The discussion here as the oversight committee, as the government body that's responsible to watch this money, none of us can answer the questions that are going forward. We don't know. This money is going to be handed over to this not-for-profit, which is being investigated by the AG's department. And we don't know who has the authority to spend this money. So, thank you.
Mr. LaBelle?
Yeah, just simply, I'm going to base my decision on what I've seen in the past. A tremendous amount of work was done there, so I have confidence that that office will continue to do what it has done in the past.
To that, the director has resigned and 2 other officers of the board have resigned. So in the past, they had a functioning board, and I'm not sure who exists currently and who's responsible for this money. So as long as no one's concerned, I'm going to abstain from the vote.
Any other discussion? Yes, sir.
I too share the concern that the legislature hasn't been adequately provided with assurances, which certainly could come from the county law department that the funds are capable of being turned over in accordance with the structure as it presently exists. I don't think delaying as Carl mentions, the leveraged $8,600 for 30 days to address very legitimate concerns is in any way detrimental to the program. I'm sure in the next 30 days we're not going to exhaust the utilization of that last $8,000 in the tourism budget. Under all the circumstances, the county should just proceed with, I hesitate to say caution, I would rather say diligence. And it's too bad that this wasn't accompanied by some further documentation or that it didn't have that vetted in the committee. So I'll abstain as well.
Okay, unless there's any other discussion. Again, I think what's in front of us today is the fact that the state is providing this vehicle to match some funds, and I think that's what we're voting on. So with that, I'll ask for a roll call.
Legislator Edmizio.
Yes.
Legislator Alvarado.
Yes.
Legislator Goldman.
Yes.
Legislator Gross.
Yes.
Legislator LeBeau.
Abstain.
Legislator Cuccinero.
One recusal.
Legislator Wright.
Abstain.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. We have one more item.
Item 6P, I'm making motion to withdraw, which is approval memorialization to propose an increase in New York State minimum wage to $15 an hour.
I'll second that.
Very good. Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you, Chairwoman Andonisio. For the Audit and Administrative Committee, I'd like to introduce the following on behalf of legislators Albano and Goldman. Item 6Q is the approval of the budgetary amendment for the Commissioner of Finance, the vacancy control factor for January and February of 2016. As comes up 6 times a year. We're just moving some money around to balance our books. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 6R is the approval of the budgetary amendment for the Health Department Municipal Waste Reduction and Recycling Program. This is incoming money to Putnam County in the amount of $169,836. Again, this happens from time to time when we get some money back from the state program. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
6S is the approval of a budgetary amendment for the Veterans Affairs Peer-to-Peer Program. This is incoming state aid in the amount of $63,688.61. Again, this is state aid coming into Putnam County for a great program that benefits the people of Putnam County. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
6T is the approval of budgetary amendment for the Planning Department, New York State and Empire State Development Planning and Feasibility Study. This is also incoming state aid money in the amount of $50,000. Again, a good thing for Putnam County. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Item number 7 is other business. I'll open it up to any other business. Okay. And there's no other business. Item number 8 is the recognition of the public. If anybody from the public would like to.
Nobody left.
Yeah, they took their proclamations and left. Anybody want to speak? Okay. Thank you. Item number 9, the recognition of legislators. Any legislators have anything that they want to speak about?
Great job out there, as checklist.
Thank you.
Very good. Here, here. Forward.
All right. Being that there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much.
Very well.